Hi everyone, welcome to another week. I apologize for missing last week, but I do hope you all are doing well. You all are doing amazing. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with my daughters because I needed perspective on something. I did ask them that if I left you in school, I took you to school, or I took you to summer camp, or even to after school, right? And I left you there, and one of your teachers or the principal did something to you or hurt your feelings, if he abused you verbally, or they weren't providing you with the education and the tuition that you guys expect or we expect from them, are you gonna be upset with me and leave home, or you're just gonna come to me and let me know? And they said, why will we leave home? It's not your fault. It's the teacher's fault, and is the principal's fault, and it will be the school's fault if they did nothing about it, right? So I said, wow. And that brings me right on to my topic for today. A lot of us have left God's presence, and a lot of us have left, his grace and his love behind because someone hurt us. I've heard so many stories about how people started in the church. They went to church, they went for the Sunday school, they prayed, they tagged along with their parents for midweek service, and yet they are no longer in the church. And they do not believe in God. Why? Because there are so many things that happen in the church. Okay, men of God using the pulpit as a safety net, and they inflict pain and they cause harm emotionally and physically to young kids, okay, to young women, to the congregation. And these kids in turn do not see the power of God in the church. Okay, older women who are supposed to counsel younger women, who are supposed to look out for younger girls, have now become lions, have now become, the ones who are preying on the younger ones, calling them nasty names and saying all sorts of things about them just because of maybe how they look. And some have voiced their opinions, some have complained, some have cried out for help and haven't gotten the help that they needed, right? So they've left the church and they've left God to say, hey, God didn't hear us, or God did not listen. Well, this is what God is saying in Isaiah 49:15-16. He says, can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee. Behold, I have graven thee upon the palm of my hands. God says he loves you. You are his child. He can never forget about you. He knows what you've gone through. He knows the hurt that you feel. But that doesn't mean that God doesn't exist, or that God does not love you, or God is a wicked God. You have turned your back on God, and you haven't given him the chance. You have refused to give God the chance to be gracious to you. And he says that, yet the Lord longs to be gracious to you. He longs to take you in his arms and be gracious to you and shine his light in your darkness again. Let me ask you, if you went to a hospital and there was malpractice in there, or the doctors did not really know what was wrong with you, and the nurses were rude, and the medication they gave you wasn't really helping with your condition, would you cut out medication or um, medical treatment altogether, or you would seek help from somewhere else. Because maybe you know medication is what's gonna save you, is what's gonna cure or heal you. So you would seek help from another source, right? Why have you turned your back on God? He's the medicine you need. And the fact that hospital A did not provide that for you does not mean that hospital B or the medication that you need will not work. Maybe you need medication A, but hospital A failed. It doesn't mean that medication A is not gonna work. Medication A is still what you need. Jesus is still what you need. He is alive and he's saying, listen, come, let us reason together. God is calling us to himself. He says, stop wandering, stop going back and forth, stop going to and fro, from person to person, from hurt to hurt. He says, I want to heal you, I want to hear you, but until you allow me to, I cannot. He's a gentle God and he understands. He says, I've given them free will. And so I can't really get into their space if they don't want me. Develop a relationship with God for yourself. Give him a chance to really show you who he is. Pray to him. He's giving you that lifeline. He says, call on me. Do not depend on other people or what other people say. Know me for yourself. God is calling us to himself one more time. And if you've given up on God, maybe still you go to church, maybe still you pray, but deep down in your heart, you've given up on him. He says, give him one more chance. There are some who say there is no God. He says, give me one more chance. One more chance. Develop that relationship with him and see the glory of God in your life. Have a wonderful week. Have a blessed week. And stay safe. Mwah.